What is good, Osiris here? Stuck in the middle. I do an upload every day at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Why am I talking about Hunter Biden as an artist? All the paper in the world is not enough for these people. You saw that Nancy Pelosi's husband, is still flipping call options. How much money do you need? How much is enough? Hunter Biden, the artiste, they're just going they're just throwing this in our faces now. Look at us. We can do anything we want to, and you can't stop us, and you don't care. Damn, just at least try to be sneaky about it. Here's the deal. President Biden's 51-year-old son is putting the finishing touches on the 15 paintings that will compromise his first solo exhibition, which is scheduled to open in October at the Judge Budge Gallery in Soho, with a private viewing for VIP collectors in Los Angeles in September. This is obviously something that, when you look at the optics, is disgusting. And I'm not alleging anything that's wrong. I'm talking about the appearance, which matters a lot in politics. You could be as clean as a baby's bottom, but if it looks bad, it can't happen, especially when it doesn't have to. Jen Psaki was asked about this. The question, direct quote here: did the White House play any role in crafting the sales agreement with the New York Gallery to protect the purchaser's identity? Psaki: well, I can tell you that after careful consideration, a system has been established that allows for Hunter Biden to work in his profession within reasonable safeguards. Of course, he has the right to pursue an artistic career just like any child of a president has the right to pursue a career. The gallerist will not share information about buyers or prospective buyers, including their identities, with Hunter Biden or the administration, which provides quite a level of protection and transparency. The only people who it provides transparency to is potentially Hunter Biden, because the gallerist will not share the information, but the buyers can. And the only person that's in the dark is you and I. You can do well, let me give you a warning. This is a whataboutism, so if you're triggered by it, here's your warning. Imagine if I told you that Don Jr. was selling art for $70K to $500K a piece to anonymous buyers, with nothing stopping those anonymous buyers from telling the administration they bought the picture while they stayed anonymous to the public. The only people left in the dark would be us. What would you think if Don Jr. was doing that? That's why he's so hyped about this stuff. The obvious question from partisan hacks is, well, what about Ivanka and Jared? They had questionable dealings. When Donald Trump became president, he didn't put his companies in a blind trust, and Ivanka still had her fashion company. Jared still had his properties and business. Jared sold his, believe it, you can't make this stuff up, his 666 fifth place complex for billions, over $1 billion, that he couldn't sell. And that was to an asset management firm that had ties with Qatar, and Qatar needed the U.S. government to help them out. Ivanka got favorable result in China. It's great. What that means is, if you're pointing that out, great. That means we're on the same team, because I don't think that should happen. I know a lot of people get thrown off by that. I never thought that should happen, and it shouldn't happen. And neither should this. So are we on the same team? No, of course. they don't really want to they don't really want to criticize Hunter Biden, and ultimately what matters is Joe, is Daddy Biden. But they don't want to do that. They just want to do the finger pointing nonsense. This lack of transparency, just like elections, or if you want to see your significant other's cell phone. If you start asking questions and the answers come out with less transparency than before, it's fair to prepare for the worst. Hunter Biden's being investigated by the DOJ for taxes and his dealings in China. We saw emails reveal from the laptop how Hunter Biden tried to cash in big on behalf of his family with the Chinese firm. The Bidens have not denied this. I'll say allegedly just to cover. But this is all reported. We all know about Tony Bobulinski, and he said that contrary to Joe Biden's statements that he had nothing to do with his son's business affairs, Hunter had frequently referenced asking him for his sign off or advice on various potential deals in China. We know about Hunter Biden on the board for Burisma, made at least $50K a month, obviously wasn't qualified. And I'm just going to stop there. And we know there's other issues and problems as well. Obama's former ethics chief, Walter Schaub, couldn't hold himself on this one. He even had to say, it's an industry that's notorious for money laundering. It's a perfect mechanism for funneling bribes to the president. Not saying that is going to happen. Didn't say that that has happened, but the optics are it could, and we would not know. And obviously, the press wouldn't report it. I talked about Hunter Biden dropping the N bomb, not with the hard ER, just with the A, whatever. They're both problematic. And Joe Biden not even acknowledging it. No one even asking him about it. And this is where it comes up. If my son got to that age, I can't even imagine what he's going to look like at 51, but say hypothetically that happened, I would tell him, like, I don't know who raised you. You thought this was a joke? I'm president of the United States. Boy, you better go find something to do. You know how you could be 51 years old, but when you talk to your pops, you're still talking to your pops and to your moms. Boy, you better go find something to do. All this upbringing, all this coddling created a 51-year-old man doing complete garbage. If it's not garbage, why can't he wait until Joe Biden's not even going to be president? We don't even think he's going to make it through the first term. Why does he have to do the exhibit in October of this year? If it's not garbage, then why not just wait? At the longest, it's 4 years. He's not going for a second term. These people have not earned the right to represent me. And if you think that this type of stuff here shows that they have earned the right to represent you, you're part of the problem. We can't work that out. That's why we get into these elections. I talked about Dave Smith and how I'm for Dave Smith for president. And we get into these elections and people want to say, you've got to vote for one of the major party candidates and you've got to vote for the lesser of two evils. I guarantee you, we don't know who's going to be running in 2024. I guarantee you both sides are going to be, they're not making a case for themselves. It's going to be the lesser of two evils. And that's what we get. I don't even want to say evil because that's too strong of a word in my opinion, but we get this nonsense. We get what we deserve. You have sitting members of Congress attacking their own country, and obviously they don't speak out against this because it's within their same party. What do? You know what? This has been laid out, what we do. Walter Schaub laid it out. Here's what needs to happen. The administration needs to commit that it will immediately notify the public if the name of any buyer is ever learned. So what he's trying to say is if the buyer contacts you and outs themselves, or someone goes to their house and, oh, look at the wall, we see a classic or not so classic Hunter Biden contemporary piece of art, you're going to have to report that now. That's what you should do. Number two, if any known buyer of this art has a meeting, a phone call, or an email exchange with any administration appointee, we should know that. Remember, this is Obama's guy here. If the administration won't agree to this simple fix, which is completely within its control, then they are sending a very strong message about what they don't want you to know, and that would be a very serious ethical failure. Why do you think, Walter Schaub, that would be a very serious ethical failure? Nothing's going to happen. Nothing would happen because Democrats have the House. This is not what the Founding Fathers envisioned. Let me just make sure that that's clear. In their warped sense, they thought that the rich would be the most smart and have the highest standards. They didn't think there would be Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. What is critical? You know I'm going to bring up critical race theory on this. All this noise about white supremacy and all this, and I don't view this through that lens, but they view the world in this black and white, and we have to share a society with them right now, which I actually am arguing that we should not. But just help me out. Where does this fall in that? Is this privilege? Is it systemic racism? Is it white supremacy? It's got to be one of those things, right? Why is this stuff never a part of it? You know what? It's why all this stuff happens. It's for dead presidents. Take care. DP3. Whoever spit that Wonderama shit, me and my conglomerate, same crime. Bigger try, y'all, suck a dick. Let me live out my dreams until my heart give out. If I with cream, you know exactly what this is about. Fuck y'all mean. Handling sense of team, like LeBron or Sebastian. High school graduates, straight to the league. I ain't waiting for my knee to blow. Yesterday I was needing this dough. Get it? I was needing this dough. Long as your math is fast, if you're reading it slow. Yeah, my life ain't rosy, but I roll with it. My mom was fine till the dough hit it and told me that the mo did it. And now it's kosher shit is so acidic. I blow a digit on a diamond and Sancho pay visits and won't miss it. So don't twist it. Young is just as nice as Morris in 96 trick. TP3. Yes, washers go to wifey, you know how that go. Jacksons go back to them, we copper some more. The Benjamins go in the stash box under the floor. I'm out for presidents to represent me, now you know. TP3. TP3. My boy Zeke said he was on the tier where no tears can fall. Cause he was on the block when no squares get off. See him in a circle, all we do is ball. Two, we all got triangles on our wall. Ain't just rapping for the platinum, y'all record. I recall, cause I really been there before. Never fall behind, cause I think too forward. All about the grind, like me, so horny. Warned you early on about my mindset. You thought it was an empty bomb threat. Till I flew into the building like 100 Osama said to do a few millions. Exposed the world to a hustler's true feelings. I came into this game with nothing to prove. You never stop a nigga in that type of mood. So every move I make confuse the industry. I'm out for presidents to represent me. DP3. TP3. Washers go to wifey, you know how that go. Jacksons go back to them, we copper some more. The Benjamins go in the stash box under the floor. I'm out for presidents to represent me, now you know. TP.